after queen takes c3, Zukertort resigns. Okay, let's have a look at the final cracking game, game 20, which gave Steinitz the 10 points needed to win this first official World Chess Championship match, making him the first official World Chess Champion. So he played e4, and after e5, he didn't play the King's Gambit. He played a kind of delayed King's Gambit, the Vienna game, with knight c3. After knight c6, now he played f4. So here it's a slightly safer way of getting some of the advantages of f4, namely peeling open the f-file, making sure that the rook will be automatically developed if white castles kingside later. But black actually went for white's king here quite quickly, so it didn't give him a chance to normally castle, because after d4 black lashed out with d5, a pawn sacrifice of his own. Now Steinitz took on d5, allowing queen h4 check, kind of a controversial decision, provoking the queen out that early, and not being able to castle. So king e2, now the black queen checked on e7, and now king f2. So potentially it looks as though black might be a little bit better here, but Steinitz uses another pawn sacrifice now after queen h4 check again, as though there might be a repetition, but Steinitz avoids it by playing g3. So the idea here, after f takes g, is not to sacrifice the rook on h1, but in fact just to play king g2. And because of this knight on g1 protecting h3, bishop h3 is not on here. And if white survives now this position, he might end up with a big lead in development, which is what happened. After knight takes d4, h takes g3, the rook is automatically developed now with tempo against the black queen. Queen g4, and now I think white is actually gaining the advantage from this mysterious position with lots of imbalances. Although a pawn down and with the king unable to castle, white's pieces are fairly good. Bishop d3 protecting c2 against knight takes c2. The black knight moves again, breaking a principle of moving a piece several times. Knight f3, look at all of white's pieces, quite nicely developed. The black king is still in the centre. After bishop d7, bishop f4, white has dangerous pressure. This is a big threat. Bishop takes c7. d6 is potentially a big threat. Bishop f5 followed by d6 is potentially dangerous. So black prepares an evacuation escape hole for his king with f6, and also denying white the use of e5 and g5. However, knight e4 is a very good move. Also, bishop takes c7, according to Rybka, was very strong. Maybe the idea of d6. But knight e4 is strong as well. And black played now knight gh6. All he needs to do is castle, and he might be okay. However, in this position, Steinitz played a very neat combination to become world champion. I wonder if you can spot it. Okay, I'll give you 5 seconds here to try and appreciate the tactical ideas which might be available, and to try and choose the next move. So 5 seconds starting from now. Okay, there's a slight vulnerability of the queen eyeing the king still in the centre, and this queen here can be the basis of a tactic. White plays bishop takes h6, and after knight takes h6, I wonder if you can spot the tactic which wipes black out now. If I give you 5 seconds starting from now. Okay, Steinitz played rook takes h6, because now after g takes, he's winning the black queen with knight takes f6, exploiting that pin of the bishop on e7, and with it he's winning. Sorry, knight takes f6, king f7, winning the queen and winning the match. He's got his 10-point victory that he needs, the first to get 10 points, 10 wins. So I think it was 10-5, 20 games played, 10-5. Although, you know, at the start of the match it looked really bleak for Steinitz. He had lost 4 games in a row, and at the end of the match he had won 3 games in a row. So what a comeback! You know, a test of his character, that he wasn't, you know, totally demoralised from his initial losses, and he came back really, really strongly, clarifying perhaps his own theories, and, you know, showing in many of the games simple accumulation advantages, which seemingly opponents just totally oblivious to losing bishops, to losing centre, you know, to having weak pawns. They seemed completely oblivious because the old style was just going for the king, more swashbuckling. So it was the end of the swashbuckling era, the end of mainstream King's Gambit automatically being used, being replaced by things like the Vienna, or more quiet, you know, building up of the centre with c3 and d4. So, you know, the Romantic era for me represents, in terms of Zen and the art of motorcycle maintenance, everyone was appreciating the beauty of the motorbike, you know, going around the countryside, etc. And Steinitz, by him sort of understanding more the context by which combinations arise, i.e., you know, how does that beauty of using the motorbike, how does it arise? You know, he took that scientific angle and discovering the elements, the X factors. Opponents were just oblivious. They were giving him advantages left, right and centre, and then wondering why they didn't have any resources or any combinations available in any of the games. Steinitz just wasn't giving them the opportunity. And we'll see how Steinitz beats off other attacking combinatory players in the same sort of way, with this accumulation of advantages in other videos coming up soon. So I hope you enjoyed that, and please leave any comments or questions on YouTube. Thanks very much.